Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing? Okay, hope everyone's doing fine. So, here we are for another Voyager dev stream. And yeah, so it's Monday again. And yeah, we have a lot of work to do. Lots of work to do. But yeah, we're gonna start slowly and step by step, okay? So yeah, before starting, I wanna say thank you to Jiso for the most recent follow. And with that, we now have reached 80 followers, which is amazing. Okay, that's great. I'm talking about Twitch. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty good. And now our next follower goal is 90. So we'll see how long it takes for us to get there. But in any case, yeah. So we have been working on, well, recently we started working on the planet scene in the game, the planet section, or whatever you want to call it. So this is the main part of the game, the main section where you can do the most like gameplay. Basically, here's where you're going to be spending more, like the most. So that being said, last week we started working on this because we basically finished the prototyping part of the space scene, which was the objective was to just have the basic movement navigation of the starship, okay, so that we could navigate towards like navigate to a planet and then land on that planet, and that would load this scene, and we basically did all the work needed to make that work. So now that's basically possible. We can do that, and yeah, so now all we have to do is just start working here on the planet scene. And for that I had to fix a couple of things. There's still a number of things that are not working properly whenever we go from the space scene into the planet scene, but yeah, we're going to be fixing those as we work on this. But the main thing was to get the player working again. There were a couple systems that were broken, so the ground detection, ledge detection, and a couple other things. So basically we weren't able to just use the player or play or navigate with the player at all because of that. So I was fixing that in the last couple streams, and now everything's pretty much working. So yeah, we can go and take a look at the tasks. Okay, this is our current list. So yeah, you can see here I have a couple things I need to work on in the planet and the astronaut and also the camera. So yeah, basically we are going to be working on the astronaut. What I want to do is just refactor all of the current systems that exist for the astronaut, so that we have like a cleaner version of like the current systems. And one of those is the census class. So this class is basically the responsible for handling all of the things that had to do with, for example, environment awareness. So like I mentioned before, the ground detection or ledge detection, so that we can climb And then also the other things as the damage system, so like the hitbox and hurtbox and that kind of thing. So I think we can just start right away. Okay, so as you can see, one of the main problems of this class is that everything, like, there's so many things here that don't really belong here. So for instance, let me show you. We have this site, this enemy site thing, which is basically something that's used by the enemies so that they basically can see the player, okay, or their enemies, their potential enemies. So this shouldn't be here at all, because one of the things I was thinking is that I would like this class to be some kind of central point for all of the different things that have to do with, I don't know, the senses and the detection of things. And so, as I was mentioning, for example, the ground detection and stuff like that. So that would be the main thing of this script called senses. So you could reference things here from other scripts. I think that could be like the base thing. And then all of the different things, for example, the enemy side, which is like something that shouldn't be here. Then for example, the hurt values here, I have hurt cooldown, blinks, alpha. So those things are basically properties that have to do with the damage system and the hurt system, and that should be handled in a different script. Then I have another one, is called hit. So this is basically handling the actual hitbox, which, like, the astronaut right now doesn't have any melee attacks. It only has like weapons. And then I have another couple things here, some booleans. So yeah, it's like everything is compressed here in the same script, in the same class, which is not great, because this class should only have one purpose. And yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking about moving stuff around from here, which in a I kind of have been doing already, which is, for example, here I have the ground detector. This was inside the senses class, so now it's not there anymore, as well as the ledge detector. So those things are basically, well, as their name describes, this is just for detecting the ground, so that the entity knows if it's grounded or not. Same thing for here, for the ledge detector is going to detect if there's a ledge, so it can climb, grab to the ledge. So those things, like the way I'm kind of like going about this system and all of these little systems, is that like each entity should only have the things that are like useful for the entity. So in the case of I used this example in the previous stream, in the case of a flying enemy, it doesn't care about the ground detector or the ledge detector. Like, the flying enemy is flying and that's it. It doesn't do any ledge grab or stuff like that. So I'm kind of using a component-based approach. I think this would be the thing I'm aiming for. And yeah, I will see if this ends up being like the best and most optimal way. I'm trying to not worry so much about the actual structure to be the most optimal ever, because if I'm like tunneling with that, like that's not great. So I shouldn't be like focusing so much on that kind of thing, and I should rather like focus more in actually developing the things for the game, so that we start having actual gameplay. So yeah, now the thing I'm going to do with the census class is I think it's something that I need to do, because yeah, as you can see, this is a really big mess. It's so cluttered. So I need to be moving stuff from here, and then yeah, I think from there we can start we can move on to another thing. So all of those things are already working, but I need to move stuff around so that everything is a bit more organized and cleaner, so that it's easier to work on. That's all. So yeah. So for example, right now I have this thing which is well, I have this like a bunch of like variables and things here, and for example, is ledge grabbed, like there's like not every entity is going to care about this. So why is this here? The only thing that cares about this is the entity that will use it. And in the case of the astronaut, for example, I have states, and I have this state which is let's grab, and this is the thing that cares about if like the astronaut is let's grabbed or not. Okay, and actually I don't really think this boolean makes any sense, because if the astronaut is let's grabbed, the astronaut is going to be on that state, so that's all I need to check. So yeah, we can start doing that actually, and yeah, there's so many references here. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a stream where I basically I will be basically going to work on this. It's going to be a lot of code and thinking, and maybe I will be quiet for moments, but yeah, I just need to work on this. Okay. So for example, I can see I have the components here, the rigid body. I think that's good to have it here. Then I have the transform references. I have the physics call reference. I should call this like physics box. I think that's how I called it. So I should like actually be consistent about the names of the things. Yeah, you can see here under interaction, physics box. So that's how I know that that's a physical collider that will make the entity actually collide with the world colliders, so the ground or whatever colliders there are. So yeah, that's how I named it. So that's one thing I like to do, just like setting actual like proper and descriptive names to things, so that then I use and then be consistent about all of the names I use and I set to things. That helps like establish some kind of naming conventions, and that's really useful when you're working and it's faster to identify things. So yeah, let's just go into the prefab, and here under census I need to actually just add the reference again. Okay, that's perfect. Now Yeah, so I have so many references here. I think maybe, like, for example, hurtbox or hitbox, well, they could be here too. I don't really mind. Then, well, I have a couple other things like properties for getting the position of the character, like the feet and the chest. That's great. Then isometric angle, isometric direction, so that's for the isometric starship. Okay, that's great. And then I have a couple coroutines to manage the herd and those things. I have here some events to actually like execute the code for the herd box. The update method is basically just managing whatever happens with the with whatever direction we are facing. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's great. Then we have this, the gizmos. Okay, so this is for the enemy side thing. Okay. Yeah, that should be in a different thing, in a different script. Of course, should have another. Actually, that could be directly under the side class. So yeah, basically this is another like class, and I'm realizing that I'm sharing like so many common things with the environment detection class, and I'm thinking that maybe I should call that class detection, and that's it. I think that would be a good idea, because that's just for detecting things and not only environment. And as you can see, if I go into the environment detection class, we have this boolean for use, which I'm not sure if that's useful at all. Then I have layer mask, the same. Tag to check, it's the same. And then I have properties for, well, in this case it's with raycasts. But for example here, I have this called site radius. So I'm using radius to manage the site of like whatever. But I'm thinking that it should be a bit more like, I should have like other ways of detecting things. So so yeah, I'm kind of thinking right now how I can do like, yeah, and then for example here I have, well, the distance of the raycast. Then I have a reference to the senses, and then pivoted origin, pivoted target. I don't know what those are, honestly, not sure. But yeah, then here I have this boolean called insight, and then sighted entity. So yeah, I'm thinking that I should actually like merge all of those things together in a much better way. So yeah, and I can see that I need the senses class here. For example, there's a couple other places where I'm going to use the senses class, like some references from it. And then I have this detect. What does sight? Yeah, this returns a boolean, and it's basically the same. So I think that I could use the same thing. And then here, yeah, I'm going to do this because it's going to be much better. Get direction towards entity. Okay, so let's do this first. I'm going to add, like, to merge sight class into the detection class and make a better thing out of the detection system. So now here, well, this shouldn't be a partial class, and now this should be called detection. Then if I want to be extra clean, I could create subclasses for example, detection raycast, detection, I don't know, collider or trigger, and then detection, I don't know. So yeah, I'm trying to think which things are going to be different. So for example here, the actual radius, so site radius, what am I checking here? I think what I'm doing, oh yeah, I'm doing an overlap circle. Okay. So it seems like if I'm doing this, I think I was doing some research at the time to see what was like optimal. I don't think this is optimal, honestly. I honestly don't think this is optimal. This is going to be called every frame. And yeah. Okay. So okay. Anyways, what I'm going to do is just remove this and remove this, and I'm going to do detection. Okay, then senses, we don't need that. Then this, we don't need this. Draw gizmos selected. So what am I doing here? Why is this? Oh. Yeah, you know why I have this is because I'm calling this from here. Yeah. So all I need to do here is just remove this, and this should be like that, and here I should say senses dot position chest. I think that's what I need. Now the other thing I need to do is well, actually, instead of using the census position, I'm just going to say transfer.position, because this is a monobehavior. It's going to have the transform thing. I also need to remove this and also this, so it's a bit cleaner. Now layer to check. Well, now this is going to be the thing. I think I should use the interaction area for this instead of using the overlap circle. Hey, Lu. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. So, yeah. So basically, okay, I don't know what I did, but anyways, yeah, so let's think about this for a moment. So yeah, what I was saying is basically I shouldn't use this. I should just I should just use the actual so let me just go to the ledge detection, and you can see here well, actually I'm not doing anything here. Where is the place where I'm actually on trigger ledge? Oh yeah, I am doing this on trigger ledge. Huh. Okay, a bit convoluted what I'm doing here. It's on trigger ledge. So this is basically going to Hmm. Yeah, I'm actually not going to use the use thing. Well, I don't know. I think if I'm not going to use it at all, I can just disable it, I guess. Not sure. But I can't really like think of why this would be useful for now. Like the only thing I can think about is, well, maybe I just want to disable some kind of mechanic, but yeah, I don't know. But in that case, that should be well, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it now, I guess. Let's move this here. And also, yeah, let's keep looking at this. So this detect, where the hell is this being called? Is being called here. Okay, but also what else? Like where, like, so this is what's happening. Now I understand what's happening. So basically, the trigger, like, yeah, okay, let me explain really quick. So how this works is like this. The ledge detection has a trigger, okay? It's a little box that will detect whenever we enter in contact with a wall, okay? When we enter in contact with that, this function is going to be called, and it's going to be called for as long as we're in contact with the wall, okay? It's basically saying on trigger stay, you know, like the typical Unity collision function, where you check on trigger enter, on trigger exit. Well, this is triggering every frame. So with that, whenever what I'm doing with this on trigger ledge, that's basically checking and grabbing some information and then casting the ray casts, okay? And then after I cast those ray casts, like this is just going to do a lot of things, and then it's going to save the information if it can grab or not to the ledge there. So then, like, all of that is going to be ready for me to just call this, call detect, and this is going to say, okay, if this returns true, okay, then we are going to grab. And where is this being called? Well, this is being called in the state where the astronaut is airborne. So whenever the astronaut is airborne, the check is going to happen, okay? So now there's a thing here, and I'm realizing now, but we'll get there at some point, not now. But basically you can see that whenever, where am I doing this? Okay, here, so check movement inputs. You can see here, if I'm pressing whatever horizontal axis, like left or right, and also ledge detection is detecting, I should change the name of the function because it should be a question. Then if that's happening, okay, then we transition to the ledge grab. Now, what's the problem with this? The thing with this is that airborne state is a parent state of other states. So for example, jump is whenever we're doing the upward motion for jumping, that's airborne. And basically that's a good moment to check if we should grab or not to the ledge. Then the other one is fall. So whenever the y velocity starts like going into the negative, okay, that's when we are falling, and that's another state that inherits from airborne. So that's another place where we are also checking this to see if we grab or not to the ledge. And then the other one is jetpacking. So that's for when you hold space after jumping, and that's going to make the astronaut start like propulsing with a jetpack. Okay, the typical jetpack thing. So for all of those airborne states, that's perfect. That's perfect for the astronaut to actually grab into the ledge. But actually there's a problem, because for example, what happens when I am mid-air, like I am airborne, but I was hit, okay? I took damage. So what's going to happen is the astronaut is going to do the falling animation and the hurt animation mid-air. So that's going to be a different hurt animation than the grounded hurt animation, okay? Right now I don't have that, but when I do have that, I don't want for the astronaut to be grabbing into the ledge if the astronaut is doing the hurt animation and falling. So yeah, what I want is for the player to not have control over the astronaut whenever you're falling and you took damage. So maybe like you lose control for 1 or 2 seconds, but for that amount of time, you shouldn't be able to do any action. That's the thing. And then, for example, another example, what happens when I'm doing an air attack? If I'm jumping and then like shooting or something, doing any attack, and what happens if that attack, like the duration of that attack is like 5 seconds, because it's a really big shot, laser shot or beam or whatever. What happens is, if I'm doing that attack against a wall that has a ledge like this, okay, and I'm jumping here and doing the attack and pressing right, what's gonna happen is the attack is going to bug and it's going to be cancelled. Okay, the attack is going to cancel, and then the astronaut is going to grab into the ledge and enter the ledge grab state, which shouldn't happen. So yeah, this shouldn't be happening in the general airborne state, okay? So what should happen here in the airborne state, this is kind of like a midpoint where I check for things to see to what substate I go. So yeah, in the airborne state we can go into the ledge grab, but we can also go into into any attack state, or we can also go into the jetpack state. So yeah, basically also I'm not really sure where I'm checking for transitioning into the jetpack state. Not sure. So is it in the astronaut jump state? Or no, I think it's only in the... Oh yeah, makes sense. So I think it's only in the fall state here. Okay. So here in the fall state, I have the jetpacking state. I also have this jump state reference because of coyote time. So coyote time is whenever you are running and go and want to jump, if you fall for a fraction of a second, coyote time lets you jump even though you're already out of the platform. You can jump anyways. So that's something like pretty much every game does, and it's something that helps make platforming feel better. So yeah, that's something I have in the game. And yeah, so basically, and I also think I should maybe I should increase it because right now it's pretty like discreet, I would say. But yeah, in any case, you can see here that we can go into the attack state only from the fall state. Yeah, doorbell. Give me one moment, okay? I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I am back. So, yeah, really funny because the game, the Arkanoid game, almost won itself. Really fun. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about the states and all of that, and I think I shouldn't be actually just worrying about the state system right now. I think it needs some work. Like it's pretty good, but there's a couple things I need to improve there. So I will be working on that in the future at some point. I guess after this, I don't know. We can work on that after this, but for now, I just need to improve this this thing. So yeah, basically, if not in use, return. So I'm just basically ignoring everything. Yeah, I think that shouldn't be the case. Not sure. I think in any case, I should do this here, right? Yeah. Okay, then, okay, great. So here, psyched. So now, I think I should be using a trigger. So first of all, let me just comment all of this so that I can change the name of the script, and I will be changing. Oh yeah, I changed this class to environment awareness, which in reality is an environment detection thing. So yeah, I should have changed that before, and also I need to change this into is detecting, which shouldn't hurt anything. And now I should be able to change the name of the scripts so that it's a lot better. Now, okay, let's go here, and I'm going to call it detection. That's great. Now it's a lot better like this, because now I have the which is something in the census system is called detection, and now that's something that's used for detecting different things and doing things about it. So I think that's a, I don't know, much better, much cleaner. Perfect. Perfecto, iba a decir. I'm mixing my language here. So, okay, amazing. Hey. Okay. Okay, perfect. And now this should be called detection. Perfect. Actually perfect. Now site should be also under detection. I don't know why I didn't do that from the get-go when I created the site thing, but yeah, I don't know, whatever. In any case, yeah, now I need to go here and start like changing. Yeah, here instead of environment detections, I should call this detections. That's a lot better. And then if I go here, well, now I need to fix a lot of references and things, but that's fine. That's what we are doing anyways. So here I can just say ground detector and then ledge detector. And actually I'm trying, I think I should call this yeah, you know what? I think I should change the name of this. Instead of detection, it should be called detector. Yeah, I now that I'm doing this, I think, because if I call it detections, it sounds like I'm like kind of grabbing references of things I have detected. So now it makes more sense, I think. So now if I go into ground detection, it should be called ground detector. And then ledge detection should be the same case. So ground ledge detector. Yeah, I think that's a lot better actually. So let's go here again, and I'm going to change the name of the scripts too. You can see that the prefabs already have that name, ground detector, ledge detector, but for some reason I didn't do the same thing for the scripts. Okay, let's wait for this to compile. Environment detector. Okay, great. Ground detector. Okay, good. And then ledge detector. Okay, I think now this is a bit better. So now I can go again here and start adding this back, and then I think everything is basically perfect. Ledge detector, yeah, now everything is in place. So I can go into the detector class. I can open up site. Okay, perfect. Site. Now, site is specifically just for detecting entities or enemies or whatever. So, so yeah, what am I doing here? Okay, let's check this. Pivoted origin. What the hell is that? Not sure. So I think I should separate this. I'm going to call it raycasts or raycast. Now I'm trying to think if I can, for example, just grab like the ledge grab, the ledge detector. If I can like remove this from here, but what I'm seeing is yeah, the ledge detector is kind of it needs both things. So it needs the raycast and also the trigger to work. So you can see here I'm subscribing to the trigger event. But should this be like specific to the ledge detector? Because I'm thinking that the site class, I'm going to change it so that the site uses also a hitbox, like not a hitbox, an interaction area. That's what I'm trying to say. So should I like actually use like move this into the base class? I think I should, maybe, I guess. And maybe what I can do is just like, yeah, move this into so here I would say raycast, and then here I would say yeah, and I can remove this, and instead of calling this trig, I'm going to call it interaction area. Then here what I can do is say if interaction area is not null, then I say interaction area dot on trigger plus equals on interaction area trigger, and then I can, yeah, so you can see here I have different like things depending on the type of the triggering. So I think I should like move this into its own thing here, for example, and then call it this, remove this, remove this. Okay, now this makes sense. Perfect. And now I can also add the region here and call it interaction area. Okay, perfect. Great. So now I'm thinking that I maybe should like, well, here I don't need to do this anymore because this is already being done. Then maybe what I need to do is protected virtual void on interaction area enter. And then I should do one for each stay and then exit. I think I can do just this. So here I can basically just add every case. Okay, and then here I can say on interaction area enter, on interaction area stay, and then here on interaction area exit. And this is great because now what this means is I can just override each one. So like I can go here and say override on interaction area enter. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use stay and exit. And what I will do on each one is this. Well, it should be after that. Okay, and then in the exit, I will do, oh yeah, I need the reference. I will do this. So yeah, I think I need the info. In each one of those. So I can do that and do this and this. And this and this. And now I'm pretty much done. Okay, so that covers whatever behavior I need for using the interaction area. and that's pretty good actually. Now is detecting, I should move this up actually. Then I have reset grab on trigger ledge. This is not going to be used anymore. Then I have this called detect height limit and get ledge position and whatever things. There's also some hard-coded values here, which yeah, I should actually like keep somewhere else, but for now this is fine. Now this should work actually right away. So actually right away. Okay, I wanted to test my audio just in case, but now the good thing is this detector now supports both raycasts and interaction area things. So now what's the thing with this? I have another thing called the ground detector. It has this, which is basically for like so this is basically for creating multiple raycasts. Okay, so and that's essentially kind of what I'm doing here. But yeah, here I'm not using like all of the, like I'm using this max rays to yeah, actually, I'm actually not sure like what I'm doing here, but what I'm going to do is this. Going to move this, actually all of this, I should move all of this into the base class too, because that's going to make so that there's not only one raycast like configured, but also like multiple raycasts. So that's one thing I can do. So that's great. And I should do this here, and for example here I should remove this, and then the, well, grounded, actually that's something that's relevant to the ground detection script. So yeah, I should add this here. Okay, that's perfect. Now here in the base class I have this raycast, like all of the settings, and then I should add this info there so that I know, you know, whatever. So then I should add space here in between each thing so that there's like a bigger difference, I guess. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. Great. Great. What happens if I, yeah, that's not visually great. So yeah, you can see here I only have like one ray, and for the ground detector I usually have, I think it's 5, but I can increase this and the width so that like how like what's the word, how sparse they are, or like not horizontally but like in whatever direction they are. So I can show you that in a minute, but for now I think with that I have like pretty much everything I need. Let me check if, I hope everything stays the same in the inspector, like all the values and everything. Yeah, actually everything stood the same, so that's great. I have properties, I have raycast info, interaction area. So you can see there's like a really nice spacing between each thing, which is great. Then ledge detector, you can see here, war ground, like there's raycast, but of course it doesn't have like this added, so that's something I should add. Apply to prepare ledge detector, yeah, that's perfect. Then I have the ledge detection properties and whatever. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's actually perfect. What else do I need here? Enemy sight, yeah, that's now on mono behavior. So for this, I have the sight radius, and I actually think I'm not going to be using radius anymore. So I guess that's something that's like only relevant to the interaction area. So in that case, what I should just do is just grab the interaction area and modify the offset and size and whatever. So that's what I need to do. So I shouldn't use this. And then inside, whatever was this inside. Okay, and then sighted entity. Okay. Oh yeah, draw wired sphere. Yeah, I actually don't need this anymore because the interaction areas already have their own gizmo, so that's not basically not used at all. Okay, perfect. Get sighted entity. That's great. And then get direction towards entity. Okay, so this I can remove this because the sighted entity is basically public, and then this inside, like I guess I can just remove that too. It doesn't make sense, I guess. So whenever I'm checking if I'm sighting or not, I guess I should like do this. Yeah, I'm trying to think about like the logical process of whenever, for example, an entity is trying to detect another entity. So, so yeah, what like whenever this returns true, now I get the entity, this sighted entity, and then I should stop sighting. That's what should happen actually. So so yeah, and then here sight info, and then I'm going to remove the regions for now, and then here is sighting. That doesn't make sense. I should be using the same thing like called is detecting. So now sorry. So that's great. And I also think that I should add some kind of unvalidated thing here so that whenever I change the layer mask that I'm trying to detect and the tag to check to, I should modify those values in the interaction area too. So I would try to do that at some point, but for now all I need to do is just override on interaction area stay. So so should I check this like on stay or just on enter and then on exit? How am I doing this with the landable zone? Am I doing this? Okay, receive lander. So that's the lander controller, and yeah, this is only in the enter and exit methods. So I guess I should only use the enter and exit. So enter and exit. Well, should I use the exit one? Trying to think here, like how, well, you know what? I actually don't really know what I need, because right now I'm not thinking about how the enemy psyched logic is, so I think I shouldn't even like bother with this right now. So yeah, implement interaction psyched logic. Yeah, that's it. Basically. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that should be enough. Now I can, what's this? Oh yeah, remove this, and then detector, blah blah blah. Okay, senses. Now what's wrong with this? Is sighting enemies. Where am I using? Oh yeah, in the construct brain. So yeah, should remove this from here. I should remove this, the enemy sight reference. Well, sight should be a thing here, should be a component here, but I'm gonna add it as a, well, actually sight is another detector thing, so yeah, it's really funny. It's really funny. So okay, I think that's great. What else? Where else am I using the sight thing? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense anymore. Where do I have an error? I don't have any more errors. But yeah, I do have errors, I believe, in the Quadstruct scripts. Yeah, the Quadstruct brain. So yeah, I'm just going to comment this, and I'm going to comment this, and I'm going to comment this. Okay, so here in the enter, oh well, this is not a state, so we'll see. Whenever I work on this, I will see whatever I need, but for now it's going to remove all of the things I don't need. And yeah, that's going to be what I need. Now, what else? Detection. I think I need to create another, like, I need to duplicate this. Well, actually, maybe, yeah, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to create a new one called psyched. Now this, I'm going to unpack it. Okay. And I'm going to, well, that's fine. Now what I need to do, yeah, I need to unpack the prefab variant, but now I need to maintain the original interaction area prefab. And then here I should remove this and add the psyched script, the psyched thing. Perfect. And now what I need is to, of course, add the interaction area there. Then race, I think I'm not going to use any race. Perfect. And then layer mask, I think entity, and then tag to check entity. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it as that, just like as a general thing. And then I will set the offset to 0 there, and then the Y position to 0 there also, I guess. What else? So the interaction area, instead of checking for the ground, I think whenever I change this, it should also change this. But for now, I'm just going to set entity there. Then the gizmo color is yellow. I think it's fine. Detect on stay. I'm going to remove that for now. And yeah, so that's going to be our site prefab, and it's going to be prefab variant. That's perfect. And now from here, what I can do is okay, I can remove this. Yeah, I can remove the site prefab, and there we have it. We have a prefab, a site prefab. It's perfect. So now whatever entity that needs a site to detect other entities is going to use this. So a really easy example is an enemy. So whenever I have an enemy, there's an enemy that has a range of sight. Whenever the astronaut enters that range, that trigger, then that means the enemy detected the astronaut, and now it's going to start its combat logic and whatever. So that's perfect. Okay, that's actually perfect. Okay. Yeah, I really like how this is going. So what else? Spend an hour and 18 minutes. Okay. So what else? What else do we need? Yeah, the ground detector does not have like an interaction area. It only uses the raycasts, and that's it. It's perfect. So what I need to do is actually just go here, hit play, and check that everything works the same way as before, because I have been moving so much stuff around that this might be broken at some point, or maybe not. Who knows? Seems like everything is working perfectly, so... Okay, let's... Perfect. Yeah, it's actually... just... yeah. Okay. Actually, yeah, this is pretty good. Okay. Huh. Okay, that's a really easy bug. What the hell? Okay, let's go into systems. Current state, jetpacking. Okay. Let me see something here. So jetpacking. So is this is an airborne state. Okay, that's perfect. But what else is happening here? Census dot is falling. What the hell is this? Oh, okay. If census is falling, oh, you know what could be happening here? So yeah. Yeah, this is really funny. So what's happening here is basically just the ground detection is saying, okay, is it grounded? Yeah, okay. whatever. And then this is being set to true, so it is being set to grounded, but this is checking, like only checking for this, like for is falling, which whenever you are grounded, you're not falling anymore because your y velocity is 0. You're not moving anymore. So I guess here what I should do is actually, whenever I'm if I'm not falling but I'm not like actually boosting, I should change what state do I have reference here. Fall, just fall. Okay. Yeah, so here I guess I should, well, so is this, yeah, this is not going to transition into the idle. Yeah, so then I transition to the default state, I guess. Let's try that. I'm just trying to fix a really dumb bug that I think this bug is going to be fixed once I start like actually reworking the state machine system. Well, let's see what happens now, because there could be, yeah, you can see there's a slight frame where the astronaut goes back to the idle state. Yeah, so now, yeah. Okay. Trying to think now. There's like I think just one frame where the astronaut goes back into the idle state whenever we're jetpacking. You can see there, but I'm not sure why. Because we're supposed to not be grounded. So what's happening at that point? Let me check senses again. So is falling is not grounded, and also velocity below 0. Oh yeah, that's what could be happening. Yeah, I know what's happening now. So this is just saying, okay, are we not grounded and also velocity is below 0? Then we transition to fall. But if not, if like one of those conditions is not met, then we are going here. And what this means is that if we are not grounded but the velocity is like not below 0, so that's the case for the jetpack, because when we're doing the jetpack we're going upwards. So whenever I release the jumping button, okay, to stop the thrusting, there's a couple frames where the astronaut is going to keep its positive velocity in the y-axis for a couple frames, and then it goes near to 0, and then it starts falling, and then just then the y velocity goes below 0. So here what I should actually check is if it's not grounded, and that's it. So if senses that is grounded, if it's not grounded, then we go is that what I need to check? Hey Bacon, how are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, you finally catched me working on some really boring code. How are you doing? Good, okay, that's great, that's great. Have you been playing something? Were you streaming, or are you just chilling and checking some Twitch? Okay, I'm actually working on refactoring a lot of codes in the character system I have. Just got home from work. Oh, okay. What time is it for you now? Here it's 7 p.m. So 4:12 p.m. Okay, yeah, there's quite a difference. Yeah, you're from Canada, I think, no? Yeah, I think I know. I'm guessing that because I saw your flag in the speedrun thing, but yeah, there's quite a different, like, a distance from Argentina to there. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm just working on some refactoring in the, like I was saying, in the character systems, and now I'm trying to fix a really silly bug I have in the state machine system I have, and I'm actually just patching like things and not really doing a proper solution because I'm not like focusing right now in the state machine system. It's fine, the state machine system is fine, but I have to structure the states and everything a bit better. So yeah, there's a couple issues I'm having with the, well, I can show you actually. I have this like jetpack state, so whenever you jump, you can hold the jump button and you start like doing some propulsion with your jetpack, like the typical thing. And yeah, I found a really funny bug where if you spam the space bar, the astronaut would get stuck in the jetpack animation but not land at all. So yeah, you could spam here, but now that's fixed. But now the new problem is that, well, yeah, it's just for one frame, but whenever you stop doing the jetpack thing, there's like one frame where you can see the idle animation. So it goes back to the idle state in midair, and that's because I'm doing some really silly checks for whatever I have to make it full or make it grounded. But yeah, that's because I'm refactoring at so many things here, because I'm like most of the code is from years ago when I started like making everything, and yeah, I'm kind of working on it again. But yeah, last week we finally finished doing the prototype side of the space section of the game, where you're like in your starship and you can explore the planetary system. You can go into any planet you want and land. Yeah, there's some parallax. So yeah, the actual layers are like not. If I go here and and just yeah, I think like that's one of the things I'm proud of. The clouds are entirely made by shaders. So if I show you the actual like shader file. I'm using shader graph. It's using nodes and stuff. Because I don't actually know shader code. I know very little shader code, but I know how to use shader graph a lot more. Yeah, I can show you that. It's a really big thing. So what was I trying to do? Yeah, I want to do this here, and also like, yeah, I'm going to grab all of the trees and I'm going to expand them like crazy, and now we can see like everything. Well, the terrain is really low, so you can see there the trees are very high, and I'm repeating the same layer just because I'm using placeholders, but yeah, I think it looks great. I think it looks good. Well, also the clouds are cutting there too, but yeah. Thank you. I really like how it looks, and I have a system so that actually the planets, you can go around the planets. So for example, if I show you here, of course the terrain is divided in chunks, and I basically enable and disable the chunks as you go and as you're close to them. Of course, same as Minecraft. And then I have like all the terrain you can see here. Well, this planet is kind of small, but there's planets that can generate like mountains, and I have a really nice algorithm for the terrain generation. This one is kind of flat, so that's one of the presets I have. And yeah, the thing I was going to say is that you can go around the planet, so you can run to the right like infinitely, and you will go around and around the planet. And the parallax, I have a system for the parallax so that everything is consistent. So if you see, for example, one tree in the background at some point while you're exploring, if you go around, you can get into the same point and you will see the same tree in the background. So everything is like consistent, and I think that's really good. I cannot show you that right now because everything is kind of broken, but that's one of the things that was well, it's really important, because there's other games like Terraria or even Starbound, which I think you mentioned in the Discord, in your Discord. Those games do like kind of a cheap trick with the backgrounds, where, for example, it's nice to spot familiar landmarks. Yeah, exactly. And that's not only for visual purposes, but also because maybe you can see, let's say you're exploring like here, and you start seeing maybe some like buildings, and the background starts changing, like, and you can see like more I don't know, buildings and houses and villages that will reflect in the place you are in the middle ground too. So I'm going to use that as an indicator of what you're about to find too. And also I want to have, for example, you can see maybe a really big building, and here you could see some kind of you could have some kind of train station that you will see the trains going there, and you could take that train and go into that building. And of course that wouldn't be like Euclidean, is that the word? Like the spaces, I would make this load the new scene. So it's not like in No Man's Sky where you can see the planet there and you can just hop in the starship and go there and there's no loading screen. Of course, that's not possible here, but I think it's pretty good that it could be pretty interesting to have something in the background as an interest point, and to have a way to go there. I don't know, maybe you go here and there's like some trains that go in that direction, and you interact and you take that train and go there, and I don't know, it's a new stage. I don't know. I have some really crazy ideas that I don't even know if I will be able to achieve, but I don't know. I will do my best. In any case, yeah, what I was going to say is that the trick that the other games, well, the games I played that have like procedural generation for terrain and all of that kind of thing. For example, in Terraria, you can see that whenever you're like exploring and you go into, let's say you're in the jungle and then you start going into the desert biome. So whenever you transition to a new biome, the background will basically just fade away and then fade back in the different biome that you're in. So you may be in like you may be seeing in the background that there's like trees and hills and stuff like that, and then it will fade away and then fade back in with a different background for the desert, which it's fine, of course, but I kind of want something that feels more consistent and organic. And yeah, also I have day-night cycle, you can see here. It's really funny. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's basically those are a couple ideas I have for this game and how the exploration, how I want the exploration to feel like. How long have you been working on this? So I started like, I think the first time I opened the project, which you can actually see in the actual like Discord here in, I have this channel called Devlogs where I was uploading like everything I worked on, like in kind of a devlog fashion. You can see here, this is the first time I did a devlog and the first thing I worked on for the game, and this is August 22, so it's been like 3 years. This is the first thing I did. It's kind of a Starfield with some nice post-processing. And this is all 2D, it's not 3D. I'm doing calculations to make everything move like it was, like if there was some perspective in the camera, but in reality the camera here is orthographic, so you can, yeah, whatever. I'm trying to explain that, but yeah, basically it's been 3 years, but the thing is, this year is the first year that I actually started working every week on the game, because before that there was like, for example, maybe in 2022 I worked for 1 month, and then for 3 months I do nothing, and then another month I work on something, and then like kind of intermittent, I would say. And that was the case for most of the time, like most years. And maybe I think last year I didn't do anything in the project. So if you like sum all of the time like that I actually worked on the game, I would say it would be maybe just I don't know, maybe 1 year. And I think it's maybe less than that, because yeah. So yeah, it's kind of hard to explain how much time I've been working on this, but I can say that I started on 2022 and I have been working on this like in a not like consistent way. So yeah, and then this year I started on March, and that's why I started like streaming, because it helps me actually be consistent with the work in the game. And yeah, like I mentioned before, I stream like 3 to 4 times a week, and I only stream like 1 or 2 hours. And so yeah, that's basically all the time I've been putting to this game for now. Hey Ciala, how are you doing? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, oh, you joined. You joined the Discord. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, great. So yeah, now I was trying to fix that silly little bug I have with the jetpacking state. I'll let you get back to work. I'll be lurking. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it's all good for me if you ask questions and stuff like that. Of course, that means I for that period of time I get like I'm not working and I'm answering stuff and all that, but for me that's completely fine. I love interacting with chat, so but sounds good. Have a good lurk. I should have a command or something for that. Okay, so this is the is grounded state. Not is grounded state. This is basically the check. So whenever we are not pressing the jump button to actually boost with the jetpack, so when we're not doing that, we're doing this logic, and that means if we're not falling, well, if we are falling, that we transition to fall state. But if we're not falling, which means, which could mean two things. Either we are grounded or the velocity is higher than 0. So yeah, so that's what I should do. If we are grounded, then we transition to the default state. I think that should solve it. Actually, it was a really simple thing. Now everything is broken. Now I think that should work actually. So, and well, we're close to 2 hours, so I think I will try to do some extra couple things and then I will be finishing the stream. So I will maybe stay for another 10 or 20 minutes, or maybe I could stay for a bit longer, but yeah. Okay, so this is working. So whenever we spam the jetpack thing, it's, I hope I'm not like breaking your ears, hurting your ears with the spamming with the keyboard, but now that's not broken anymore. And whenever I go into the jetpack state, yeah, we can now see that we are not going into the idle state for 1 frame. Now everything is consistent, so that's pretty good actually. That's amazing actually, that's great. So now this is working much better. Okay. Oh, I realized I didn't show the actual shader for the clouds, like the file, but I don't know if you're still there, Bacon, but I will show you just a little bit in case you're watching, or, but basically this is the it's kind of a big spaghetti shader graph, like but yeah, this is what I could do, and I think it's pretty good, and I will be improving it in the future. But yeah, this really big spaghetti node code is the thing that makes the clouds look like that. And the good thing is that I can actually change the like a lot of settings so that they look different every time, and that's actually kind of happening already. So whenever I hit play, every planet is going to have a different look, a different configuration for the clouds. Now those look different, for example. That's really cool. So yeah. Okay. Oh, those look really good. I really like those ones. Yeah, it's really fun. Okay. Now that we have that, I think this could be a good point for me to push into the cloud. So let's do that for now. Also side, I can close that. And I can just say okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, whenever you finish pushing, and close this. And okay, great. So, let's keep looking at the census class so that we can analyze what we need to move this. So yeah, okay. Hitboxed, info, facing left, facing right, is grounded, is less grabbed. Okay, so yeah, this shouldn't be here at all. It's one of the things that I need to move into another place. Now, yeah. Now I think I should create a new thing for the hurt box. So this is under interactions damage. So I'm thinking that I should create a new script called, for example, hurt handler or something like that. I'm going to do that now. And I should move the things that are in the census class into that one. So, okay, that's perfect. Now I should move, copy this here. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I can remove this. And basically, I think I can just move the hurt box reference into the hurt handler. Okay. So do this. And I should also be able to move all of this there too. So, and I would say properties, and then here I should call this info, because all of this is going to be set. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, I should leave that there for now. Now, what am I doing here with the hurt box? Set hurt box. Okay, now is this where am I doing this? Entities, set hurt box. Oh, I can see now. Okay, so instead I should have this reference here, and then this should have the well, I'm just going to go here, and instead of saying hurt box, I will say hurt handler dot hurt box. Well, yeah, that should not be that way. I should do hurt box hurt handler dot hurt box dot toggle. So now interaction area should have a method for enabling and disabling it. Well, it actually has one. So why is this? Oh, I understand now. Because hurtbox is another different thing, so now I should have this, and this should say interaction. Oh, I don't have the thing there. Well, I guess I need to have the reference now to the interaction area here, so no, not like this. I need this. Okay. Great. So now I can go here and say interaction area to toggle on. Now it should work. Okay. And then the hitbox should also have the same thing. Now, this shouldn't be here because the hitbox is going to be toggled. Like, I should have some other kind of script that handles the actual combat logic. So, but for now, I'm just going to let it be and whatever. So, do this public void toggle. Okay, great. Now I have that. That's working now. Okay. Also, that should also be like that. That's perfect. Okay. Now, herd box. Okay, receive hit, blah, blah, blah. Perfect. Now, herd handler. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I need to add that script into the player prefab and add the values that I need there. So yeah, let's see. Need to go into the astronaut prefab, open an isolation, and here, oh yeah, I should also add the interaction area. Like this should should be in the herd box prefab too, so that's fine. And then here under senses we don't have any herd handler or anything like that, so I will create a new thing called herd handler, and this is going to have herd handler. Then the herd box is going to be this, and then the settings I'm going to copy from here, so it's going to be 112 and 0.5. Okay, 112 0.5. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now I have the herd handler and I can go and do that. I actually think that this should go under, like, I should apply this to the entity prefab because, yeah, why not? Yeah. And then the reference, this should also be applied to the thing there. Now physics box. I think entity already has, like, why revert? Yeah, why is this? Oh, okay. And then hitbox. Well, if I go into the entity prefab, I do have a physics box here. So why is that not? Is it not the same than the one in the thing? Oh, look at that. Okay, that works. Now I can go back to the astronaut. And then here I can just say revert, and then here revert. And now I have the same things as always. Okay, perfect. So now I have the herd handler. Perfect. I have the senses. I have whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now I can go into senses and actually remove all of this. Okay. Perfect. So now how do I... There's so many errors now here. And that's because I need to actually move all of this. Okay, all of this I need to move into the herd handler class. Okay. Okay, so now I can move this here. Perfect. And there, well, hitbox. Yeah, let me just do this, and I'm going to only remove that. And then here, I don't need to check if the herd box is null because it needs to have a herd box, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. And then here, I should say on received heat. Okay, whatever. And then on herd intent, that's a method that's somewhere around here. Okay, on herd intent, that's where this is. Oh, there's two of them. That's not great. Okay, let's move both of this here. Okay, why is that? Oh yeah, I need a coroutines library. Then here I need a reference to the entity. Do senses have a reference to the entity? Yeah, it does. Okay, that's perfect. So entity, blah 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 blah. Herd coroutine, I need that. Okay. Great. Now on received heat, now herd point. I think this is not going to work anymore. Okay, so what's happening here? I have this routine, blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, let me think about this a little bit, because why am I doing on stay here? That's not... doesn't seem right. Okay. Yeah, so whatever I'm doing is this. Herd point, whatever. And this, I don't care. Herd intent. Now I need okay, so that's one thing I need. And then here, well, I have all I need. That's perfect. Okay, that's great. But here, what the hell am I doing? This should be under enter, not stay. Okay, that works. And also, the other thing I need to check is if event type is not enter, return. So that's what I should be doing, not the switch, because I'm not going to use any of the other cases for the switch statement. So that's good. And then the other thing is, what's wrong with this? What the hell is this? Oh, damage info. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense because I like the actual like interaction between the triggers and all of that is already happening from the hitbox. So yeah, I don't need to be checking the state and the event type and blah blah blah. I don't need any of that. I just need the damage info. Now, why is this not okay, interaction? Well, actually, I shouldn't be doing this. It should be interaction. There. Okay. And then here, well, hitbox, whatever. And then here I should be doing this. Unsubscribing there. Perfect. Here, unheard intent. Okay, if it's hurting, return. But then we started the core routine. Now, there's something I need to actually be doing, like, be adding a couple things. I have this here, hurt point. Okay, so hurt point. What's the hurt point? Why do I need the hurt point? Hurted. Why am I using hurted? What's that for? Okay, let me first of all hit core routine. Yeah, all of the hit thing doesn't make any sense at all anymore. So what am I doing here? Where am I using those hitboxed booleans? This, I guess? I don't know, I'm just going to remove all of that because it doesn't make any sense anymore. So remove this, remove all of the things from hit and the hit core routine and the hitbox reference. Where am I doing? Yeah. Okay. Now here, instead of set hurtbox, I should do toggle hurtbox. And here, I should also be saying toggle. I need to start using the proper like namings for the methods. Something I always say. Okay, so I can just remove this too. That's great. Okay. Okay. Also, all of this, like position stuff, I don't know if it should also be here, but for now, I'm just going to leave it. Okay. Oh, this should be called get detector. Great. Perfect. Now, oh yeah, whenever I initialize this thing, I need to initialize the what's it called? The hurt handler. Perfect. Okay, great. What else? So the hurt handler is going to do all this, blah 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 blah. Hurting is hurt, blah blah blah. Okay. So where am I using that at all? I need to see all of the errors I get in the console now. And I will try to get this cleaned up, and then I will finish the stream, okay? Census.hardpoint.x. Okay, so here, first of all, I would need to have a reference to the herd handler. So herd handler, and then this would be herd handler dot herd point. Okay. So in the enter state, if herd handler is null, herd handler equals census dot herd handler. That's all I need. Amazing. Now, I should create a couple variables here. Float chest position equals and then here I should also create another chest position X, and then hit position okay, perfect. Now that's more legible. So that's a lot better. For example, now what I'm doing is saving this as a variable so that I know chest position X and then hit origin X. So instead of chest position, I would say astronaut position X, and then hit origin X. So I'm basically checking from which side is the astronaut getting hit. So is hit from right, then I'm going to say, okay, face right. So it's going to face into the direction from where the hit came from. Okay, that's all I need basically. So that's actually perfect. Now let's see. Oh yeah, there's a number of issues. So okay. So okay, I need, okay, what state was I just now? Was it astronaut hurt? Okay, and this is just, okay, let's remove this. This is just a state. This is not from whatever. So I think this should be here. Sorry. Okay, and then okay, now that makes a lot more sense. So yeah, basically I need to do this. If herd handler equals null, then herd handler equals census.herd handler. So that's what I need to do for basically climbed, grounded to, oh yeah, gonna do this here and this, and I think I need to do that in the airborne thing. Oh yeah, I don't need to do the protective thing, do I? Not sure. I'm just going to keep it protected for now, but yeah, I shouldn't be checking like in every state, so that's why I have those. Like this is kind of like a middle state in the hierarchy. So grounded then has other substates for idle, run, jump. Well, not jump. I don't know, attack, crouch, all of those things that are states that belong to the grounded tree, I would say. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, then airborne also needs the herd handler reference. So herd handler, okay, and then here, if herd handler equals null, herd handler equals census dot herd handler. Perfect. Now this is much cleaner. It's getting better and better. Okay. Now the other errors I think are from the quad struct. Yeah. Census does not contain blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm gonna comment this for now, and I'm gonna close this, and then I'm going to open the generic state. Oh yeah, that's the same for those. Okay. Quad struct herd. Yeah, so now I should do the same thing for this, like, and then just copy this actually into this, and also this. Okay, perfect. And this. Okay. Now that's fixed. And what else? This is also... Oh, hitboxed. Huh. Well, I guess I should comment this for now, because there's... Yeah, as you can see, there's so many things broken from the quad struct, which is using... Yeah. Going to be reworking that at some point, but for now, yeah, this, whatever. Then here in the generic state airborne, am I using this at all? Huh. I guess I don't know where I'm using this. It seems like I'm using it in the quad struct. So I guess I created those generic states so that I can use them for many other things. But yeah, I think that I should for now, again, I would just comment this. And then what else was broken? I think that was all of it, right? Yeah, actually it is. Now, now everything is a lot cleaner actually, but I think there might be like things that could be still broken. So since I don't have other ways to check if the damage system is working or not, yeah, I don't know. I think I should actually work on this, not this herd handler. So I'm not doing anything with the damage info. So damage info is going to have the actual information about the damage and the collision, the point, hit point, I guess, and all those things. So yeah, that's something I would need to work on whenever I start working on the combat mechanics again. But for now, I think this is going to be fine. Now the census class is again, everything is a lot more clean. It's a lot cleaner right now. So yeah, let me see if there's still some things that I would need to remove from here. Set force, set impulse, limit velocity. So still, this class has still has a lot of things in terms of like yeah. So for example, set velocity. Is it something relevant to the census class? I guess I should have another kind of like another system that handles that. But yeah, for now, I guess this is fine. This is just fine for now. Because, yeah, the census class is the one that has the rigid body and it knows about the position, and you can... Yeah, I think this is fine for now, so... Is there an interactable? I guess I should move this, like, this should be moved. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So this, is there an interactable, is basically to check, for example, whenever you go into, let's say, a door, and the door has a trigger that whenever you enter that trigger, you can interact with the door and open the door. So that's basically an interactable, and this is going to be filled with that information whenever you enter an interactable. So, and that's going to be handled by, I can't even remember now actually, but for now, yeah, you can see it's, for now it's only been used by the Starship Idol. So whenever, yeah, okay, but where is this being set? Oh yeah, in the landing system. So in the space scene, you have the starship, and the starship has a, well, has a system, a controller called the lander controller, which will check for landable zones. So whenever you go into a landable zone and you enter that landable zone, the lander controller is going to grab that landable zone and save it into the current interactable on census. So that's what I'm doing here, is basically just saving that reference so that I know, okay, there's an interactable, and if I press interact or whatever thing I need to press, something's gonna happen. So that's how I'm handling the interactable thing. But I think this should also be moved into another class called interaction handler or something like that. Move this into a class so that's great. That's what we should be doing. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Okay. So with that, I think we have made some good amount of progress today. Actually, it's been almost 2.5 hours. It's not a lot, of course. It's not crazy, but for me, it's quite a bit past the normal amount of hours I stream. So yeah, that's gonna be the stream for me today. Okay. So yeah, let's give it another test really quick to see if everything is still working. Yeah, I think everything is perfectly working right now, so really good. So now I'm noticing that I have another thing again, which is whenever I jump, you can see there's like a, yeah, I didn't go through. Oh yeah. So whenever I hit the jump button, you can see there's like a slight frame where it goes into the well, actually it makes sense because the jump animation actually has the first, like, the anticipation frame. So if I go into the astronaut jump, this is the, yeah, so this is the sprite sheet. You can see there's like an anticipation frame where it's going to like crouch a little bit and then jump. So that's basically how the sprite sheet is. So yeah, that's great. Okay, everything works, nothing's broken so far. So yeah, that's gonna be the stream for today, okay? Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for chatting too, for staying around, and for everything, okay? For the follows and everything. And yeah, that's gonna be the stream. Be sure to join the Discord, as always. Join the Discord if you want to get notifications when I go live. That's the best way of knowing that. And yeah, I always send a message there notifying everyone to that I'm live, basically. And also, if you want to share stuff there and just chat or whatever, if you want to share games or art you do, or I don't know, whatever you want to share, you're more than welcome. And you can also get feedback if you want to. So that's great. Okay, that's gonna be the stream. Thank you everyone again. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to watch all of the other streams. They are there, archived forever. You can watch them. Every stream is going to be there. It's amazing. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Okay. Again, thank you very much, and I will see you in the next stream. Okay. Bye bye.